thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode of Connect by Flambeaux CrossFit. I'm Dylan King, this is my wife Missy, and we own and operate Flambeaux CrossFit that is in Metairie, just outside of New Orleans. My goal for this whole show is basically to connect to as many people as possible. So throughout the next couple months, we'll bring in a member from our really awesome community, and you'll learn a little bit of a background of them and their fitness journey. And hopefully something they say will resonate with you and it will inspire you to keep going at whatever goals that you have in front of you. For today, I really just want y'all to get to know us, since it's really our community that we've nurtured. It's been our little baby for the past 3 years. So we're just gonna dive in and let you get to know us a little bit first. This is my wife, Misty. She's awesome. Her background is totally different from mine. Our stories are actually totally different, how we got into fitness. And just physical activity in general growing up. So I guess just tell a story about what was the first athletics you were in, what sports you were in, and how you found your passion. Like, how'd you get into sports?
Okay, so basically I would say I had a pretty normal childhood. Growing up, I was put in all the sports: soccer, basketball, volleyball, softball. Kind of just tried it all out. My parents allowed me to do pretty much anything I wanted, dancing, and then I just kind of, as I progressed through school, just kind of weeded out the ones I had less passion for, more passion for. I played softball competitively for about, I'd say, 12 years. Ended up playing all the way through college. So that was easy to say that that's my favorite sport.
When did you realize you had like a competitive spirit? Like, did that happen in elementary school, middle school? Like, when did you start really caring, like getting into these tournaments and like caring to win them and want to be better at them? Like, did you just go to practice and do whatever, or did you really go to practice and say, I'm going to put my all into this because I want to be the best at this? You know, like, when did you start summer camps? Because I know you went to summer camps and stuff like that. Like, when did that drive to be like, okay, I like this enough that I want to be the best I can be at this sport? When does that happen?
Yeah, I really believe that the competitiveness was installed in me in a very young age. Probably like, even like playing with my sister, like I could probably almost imagine myself wanting to like win anything. When we were growing up, we played like Uno, like after dinner and stuff like that, and like I remember being like physically mad if like I did not win. So I don't
total opposite of me, like to this day.
So I don't think it was like necessarily like the competitive was sports driven. I think it's just like something inside of me.
Yeah.
And it kind of just got more pronounced throughout the sports. So
did you look at sports like this is a workout, or were you just like, I'm out here having fun, I'm freaking good at this, and I just want to keep doing it?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever just look at it and be like, I'm working out?
I didn't look at it as working out. Maybe when I got to high school and we started like actually lifting weights a little bit, and I was like, oh, we have to be like
fit to do this.
But I mean, when you're that young, it's getting bigger now, but when we were that young, it wasn't as like serious and competitive as it is now. We did it more for fun. Where now they have to like raise all kinds of money and stuff like that. It really wasn't like that. We all wanted to be there, and we all.
You may have raised a lot of money.
Yeah,
your parents just may not have like let you know that part at that time, but.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Kids are definitely coming out way more competitive younger.
Yeah,
now.
I do think it was like almost born with it, because everybody always said like I was just more like maybe competitive than like my sister.
We literally got in arguments.
Yeah.
Because of
game night.
The competitive and not competitiveness of me.
I don't care if it's like a 50-50 shot.
We have to be like, all right, so we're having game night. We're going to be a team, or we're going to be against each other. Like, we have to like get ready for it because we're so opposite when it comes to that.
So.
My growing up was completely different. My family had Kung Fu school, and I never looked at it like, okay, I'm fit and I'm going to go do this physical activity, and this is a sport that my family partakes in and competes in. It was just kind of something like we did. But at home, there was not a lot of structure. There definitely wasn't any nutrition, which is something I want to get into with you too. But like food for me, we did not have money, so it was like butter noodles and chicken bouillon. It was cheese macaronis. It was Kool-Aid with like a cup of sugar in it. If we had real dinner, it was spaghetti, and my mom would even put sugar in the spaghetti sauce because my dad likes his spaghetti sauce sweet. So knowing what we know now, I had sugar everywhere. I had chocolate milk almost probably every day. I had peanut butter and jelly with extra jelly, like every day. Like that's what I grew up on. So I wasn't overweight all the time as a kid. I think it happened probably when I was around 8 years old. But there's a moment that happened that I really got obsessed with fitness. I specifically remember going for like a wellness checkup, and I was 4'8". I got on the scale and I was 157 pounds. And today I'm 5'4" and I weigh 151. You know, and I was in like 4th grade, I think, was the grade I was in. And I remember feeling the tension in the room, and the doctor was having a serious conversation with my mom that like something had to change. And I didn't know what was wrong because like fitness and health and stuff was like not a conversation in the household at all. So I remember going home and my mom just being like, tell your dad how much you weigh. And I felt like very embarrassed and self-conscious immediately. And they were like, come on, tell your dad how much you weigh. And I ended up being like 157. And my dad actually laughed. My parents were both pretty fit, like their high school years. My dad was definitely all around like an athlete, like could play any sport. His passion was football. He was like old country boy, like came to the city. So he was always really fit. And I guess they just like did not relate to me at all when it came to that. So the fact that my mom made me tell my dad, and then my dad laughed at me. I remember storming off to my room and just crying. It was very emotional, and in that moment I felt a lot of body shame, and I felt very insecure, and I did not feel safe. I did not feel safe because at that moment I realized like, okay, something's wrong with me. Like something's not right. I'm not like what they expect me to be. My dad came pounding on my door. He's like, open the door. And I wouldn't open the doors. I was like so embarrassed. I did not want to see him, right? Because like that moment, like, I mean, it still like irritates me. And from then I was like, I don't want to be the overweight kid. You know, at that point, kids at school, my initials are DK, were already calling me Donut King. And like now I think that's funny to me because, well, like I love donuts. Like to this day, I have donut socks. Like I love donuts. But like as a kid, especially if health is not like something in your household, you're just sitting there like, well, why am I the one that's this way and they're not? You have no understanding that it's like due to lack of physical activity or lack of, you know, better nutrition in the household. So that from that moment, my dad actually ended up taking me, I was probably like a week later to get like a cheap like bench and weightlifting set, and I had it in my room, and like I remember playing the Papa Roach album over and over again, just doing like bench and dips and strict press in my room as like someone in elementary school. So yeah, my growing up was totally different. But I want to get into a little bit, because from knowing you through high school, I know y'all had family dinner every night, and I know your mom cooked dinner. Were those dinners always healthy, or did that make a change? Like, was there what was nutrition like for y'all? Did y'all get to snack all the time like I did?
Yeah, so completely different from that. My mom did cook a lot, but we did eat out a lot. Especially like playing ball, traveling every weekend. We ate out like McDonald's like sometimes twice a day, but it really wasn't that big of a deal because for me, health-wise, because like I was so active, I was catcher. I caught.
How often were your practices?
Like at least maybe 2-3 times a week, and then we played Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And then like that's like rec ball, like extra, not including like school ball. But my mom, she cooked, it was like, you know, portions like a potato and a veggie and a meat, like, and a salad. I don't know if there was like 70 pounds of butter on it. Yeah. You know, and I mean we had like the macaroni and stuff, but like there was always like a can of green beans or like peas or like there was something green there. Yeah. You know, even if it was not like, full of sodium or whatever, but
but it was there. You had it on the
table. It was an option.
But your activity level was way surpassed what mine was.
Say it was
absolutely.
Right,
and you're out in the heat.
Right.
Like it was out in the heat activity, yeah.
Yeah, but if I wasn't that active, I'm not sure if those meals would have kept me slim, but I don't know if they would have made me like overweight. We did eat out a lot. Like, yeah. It's probably like 50-50.
Did you ever feel growing up like you had weight issues to battle, or was like that ever even a thought? Or, I mean, you were always, ever since I've known you, you've always had more confidence all year round, which is like great. Like, I think everybody should have confidence. Like, you're just a shell, right? Like, if you're happy, like, I think everybody should have that. I definitely did not have that. Right. But, like, was that ever anything self-conscious for you?
Like, being that I was raised in the environment I was raised in, like, there was never, like, self-doubt or, like, oh, like, you are gaining, like, 5 pounds, like, because that was never said to me unless it was, like, the random comment your grandma makes.
Yeah.
You know, when you just, like, go
grandma
through puberty
always.
and fill out and they think you're, like, going to be fat for... I think you're going to be overweight forever.
Yeah.
I've never had bodies. My family have never made like comments
or
like telling me that maybe I should go run extra after practice or anything like that. But most of my family were overweight and still are. So it's not like out of the norm. Like if I were to be a little heavy, I did think, it was strange that I was never like smaller because I did work out so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have, like, snacks and stuff at my house. My mom ran a daycare for, like, 15 years. So, like, there was, like, candy, snacks, like, chicken nuggets.
Everywhere,
and stuff.
all the time.
Like, every day I came home from school and there was, like, whatever on the stove. But if I was ever overweight, it was never brought to my attention, which I'm really thankful for because I can see how much that affects kids these days and you, like, your entire life. From 4th grade.
Like to today.
So, like, I'm thankful for my parents for instilling that in me.
The shit that happens to you when you're a kid literally will stay with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm thankful that I am a confident person. Like, I've never been tiny, but I've never, like hated my body. So,
yeah.
Again, I just think that's, like, just internal.
Yeah, you had a good surrounding and then you were just active. And, like, that's what I think is important. Like, we need to take the shift away from, like, do you have a six-pack or, like, are your, like, quads chiseled? Like, we need to get away from, like, what you need to look like. Like, are you able to go to a theme park with your family and, like, walk the whole day and, like, be totally fine? Are you able to ride whatever rides at that theme park that you want to ride? Can you go to the zoo in the heat or wherever? Like, can you just be physically active, go for a hike and enjoy life and be okay, and not feel like you have to miss out on certain experiences in life because of a physical, like, setback. Yeah. So I think it needs to be less about, that's what the world is shifting to, right? Like, it's really not about how you look. Like, how healthy are you? How do you feel? I believe working out, like, keeps you young, and I think that needs to be more of the focus. Yeah. I said earlier that working out was actually like a huge mental thing for me also, and like that's kind of what I love about it the most is the mental clarity it gives me, how it does help depression. I do totally support people using medications because I know for a fact that people are chemically depressed, but I also think that there are situations that people become depressed because of, and I think I had a little bit of both. So I have a lot of, I won't say like mental illness in my family, but we do have some depression that runs in my family line, and we're not secretive about it. I mean, we're very open about it. It's just part of kind of like our everyday. So we already have that, and my household was very rough. Parents were like in and out. When I came out, that was very, very rough. Spent a couple of nights sleeping on cousins' couches and stuff like that. So when I finally got to this point where I was like, I'm going to take charge of my physical self and working out, I also started realizing that like that hour or two in the gym really gave me mental clarity, really gave me energy. I was still on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, but I could tell the difference in my mood when I would skip the gym for a week or when I would be in there. Actually, I remember being at one of the 24-hour gyms, and the Cuckoo's was next door to it. And I remember being like on the elliptical machine, like going. It was a weeknight, and Missy's over at the window like waving at me. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I mean, that was late junior year, senior year of high school.
Yeah.
But like since then, I have been, and I definitely went through a phase where I was not healthy, addicted to the gym, and like just eating salad. Like, how thin can I get? But it did so much for me to gain some sort of confidence in myself, relieve stress, and not feel like I was totally relying on medicine. Now, medicine along the line did help keep me leveled, but man, the physical activity I think really did like 50% of what I needed it to do. Until I transitioned. For those who don't know, I'm transgender, born female, not a big deal. I know, hard to tell. But when I went through my physical transition is when I was actually totally able to get off of antidepressants and my anti-anxieties. Now, that's not for everybody because some people still have that like clinically depressed and anxious like chemical imbalance in them, and that is totally fine. But if you haven't tried working out, I'm not saying it's going to totally supplement those things for you, but it can absolutely help better sleep, better energy. All right, so I had been into fitness. It was like my mental clarity. It was like my stress reliever. And then I got really tired of being in your like regular 24-hour gym, just like dumbbell curls. No, nothing against dumbbell curls, but I was just getting bored. So then I actually went into training with this couple that was opening their gym, and they were bodybuilders, and I was allowed 50 carbs a day before 3 o'clock. If I didn't have them before 3 o'clock, I didn't get them. And so carbs release serotonin in your brain. So somebody that's already anxious and depressed, like, really wasn't that great for me. And then the day I would like carb load would be the only day that I'm like, wow, like I have so many results, like I'm looking so good. So it was like I realized I was living like 6 days a week just waiting for that carb day, feeling miserable. So it like just really wasn't for me. It works for some people, it didn't work for me. And they were like, the couple I was working out with, like their relationship was strange and rocky, so I was like, I'm just gonna get out of here. So I did that for like 3 months, and I left that. And then I got into running, and I ran 2 half marathons. And that was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. But my knee just didn't really like the repetitive motion so much. So though I wanted to kind of keep running as a part of my regimen, I wanted something just a little bit more exciting and kind of like a little bit more variety of things. Variety. So I actually found on Facebook this CrossFit gym that had this amazing deal. It was it $150 for 2 people or $100 for 2 people? It was like $150. It was $150 for a couple's membership, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to try this.
It was $99 for your membership or $150 for 2,
which is like a steal. So this gym was in New Orleans, so I was like, holy crap. So I went over there. She had work, so she couldn't go. And the first workout was Grace. I'll never forget. It was Grace, and Todd, one of the doctors I work with at LSU, actually was in the class with me. I don't know why I remember. He was like 2 people in front of me, and Heidi was my coach.
He doesn't remember anything, but he remembers
because CrossFit changed my life. So I remember this. But I remember going in there. It's 30 clean and jerks for time. And of course, like I didn't use the RX weight, but I remember busting out these 30 clean and jerks, and I wasn't the last one finished, which I was like super proud because I'm not competitive. But I remember being like, this is awesome. And I think that was like my first taste of like, is that what being competitive feels like? So I went into the office area after, and I like signed us up for the couple's membership without even telling her. All she knew was that I was like trying CrossFit out. So I rolled up to her work and was like, so we are members at a CrossFit gym.
Which was at a gym. So.
Well, she was at like a traditional gym, and I was bored. So I was like, but you're going to love it, right? And you did.
And I did. It's the best decision you've ever made.
Yeah. Besides
in the early
dating
stages, before,
So, anyway. So, like, I want you to tell people, like, Why did you enjoy CrossFit?
So I was very reluctant at first. I had already working in gym, so I had access to a free gym, for both of us, for whenever we wanted. So I was like, whatever, let's go try this crazy stuff. And I don't even think I was through the warm up, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So
because you should already be sweating by the time you're warming up.
Like it was outside and like it was hot and like there's like the people were there. Like it was super just like you could tell the people that had been there a while and just had like their whole like group and everyone was like high-fiving everybody. I was like, that's so cool. Usually in the regular gym everyone just has their headphones on, you're just like hoping no one's staring at you or like hoping that you're doing it right or whatever. But here, they just explain the class to you and you just like they're just like, try your best, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm
gonna kill this
thing. Like I don't know who these people are, I just met them, but I'm gonna try to beat them because that's just
who I
am. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm gonna try to beat them. So yeah, it was pretty much like love at first sight with CrossFit. I had mentioned before, like I was a pretty competitive softball player, played all 4 years of college. So being that competitive person, after that very last inning in that very last game, like that feeling I thought was gone forever. So it's probably like 2 years later.
Yeah.
From that point that we had found CrossFit.
You graduated in 11, right?
Yes,
so we started in 13 or 14, I can't remember.
Right. But. So 3 years later, like I felt that pitter patter in my heart again, and like I said, that was like I fell in love all over again. So that's how I knew that. I never thought we'd be where we are now, but I knew at that point that CrossFit was going to be in my life for a long time, if not forever, because nothing compared to that feeling other than like playing competitive softball. Because I even tried like the slow pitch and stuff like that, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like these people are drunk. Like they don't even care if they win or they lose. Like I can't hang out with these people. Like you're gonna get hurt. So, it was a pretty, easy fit for me and my personality.
Fill that void.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
So I started personal training people one-on-one. It was CrossFit style. I had went and got my CrossFit level 1, and I was training people of the LGBT community specifically. Not exclusive, but most of, or maybe all of my clients were. I would have trained anybody, but I was really trying to get LGBT people to be more physically active because I had found out that people were uncomfortable going to gyms, whether they felt like they were being judged or whether they were like me and like didn't have an athletic background and they were just intimidated to go into a room with 100 different machines that they didn't know how to work, or like just had that anxiety. So I wanted to make our LGBT community feel like that they were worthy of being physically fit and healthy themselves. So I started training people, and I just knew that the gym that I was at, they liked me, but I just knew that I wasn't 100% feeling like I could be open with everybody. So I knew, and we knew, that I really wanted to train people. I have a huge passion for helping people. I think just being able to dig myself out of the hole that I've been through so much, that I wanted to help others do that. I love one of my favorite quotes is like, be who you needed when you were younger. So like that's literally how I'm living my life. So I knew that I always wanted to train people, and I had gotten a good bit of clientele, and I actually had some people behind me that were like, look, we will join your gym for 3 months while you get started if you want to open up your own space. And that's pretty much what we did with Flambeaux. In the beginning, we were not very open as like, hey, we're an LGBT owned and operated business, because we're in a more suburban area right outside of New Orleans. So I knew like I needed the revenue, right? I wanted the doors to stay open. So we were very proud that our members could be whoever they wanted to be inside of our doors, but we weren't like, we're LGBT owned and operated from the get-go. Not until we knew we could sustain our rent and like our basic bills, where we're like, hey, I'm Dylan, I'm transgender, and I'm your coach, and like, not that I introduced myself like that to people, but I'm Dylan, I'm your coach. We go through the warm-up, we stretch them out, everything. And if they so happen to work out next to me, and then figure out that I'm trans, then that's not something that I hide. And I don't make my members hide whether they're flamboyant or anything like that. Like, we want it to be whoever you are, however you act, whatever your personality is. Like, if you're here for fitness, like, we're here to make sure you're moving safely. And I mean, our members just, they fill us up. They fill me up. Like, being able to, like, see them be like, I just want to do a pull-up, and then they do a pull-up. Or I want to do a muscle-up, and they do a muscle-up. Yeah. You know?
And it was like, the leap was, like, pretty much an easy decision. Like, I knew, like, going through college, like, I went to classes, but really I was there, like, to play ball. But I knew I always wanted to be, like, in the coaching environment. Like, I would say I have, like, leadership skills. But I knew being a coach was always, like, a passion of mine. So when he said he wanted to do this, like...
You're like, hell yeah, I get to coach.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's scary, but yeah, let's do this. Let's see what we can do.
And we found a garage for rent literally half a mile from our house. So it was like a sign. Like, as soon as we started looking, there was this ad on
like,
Craigslist.
Babe, I think I want my own gym. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And then, like, a month later, we're, like, signing a lease for, like, and I'm like, wait, what are we doing? Not to mention, like, a week later, we got a positive pregnancy test. So
yeah, we're
like, this better work. Or
went from let's hope this works to, like, oh, this has to work. We're supporting our family.
But it immediately felt like we were doing the right thing.
I mean, I feel like we've changed our own lives through this, but I feel like we've changed so many other people's lives. Like, I love our community. Like, people can move from out of state and come in and feel like they're part of a family.
Right.
You know, we do, like, our quarterly get-togethers outside of the gym. That way, like, our 5 a.m. people can get to know our 6:30 p.m. people. Right. You know, like, we mingle. I mean...
I do know, like, some of our drop-ins are, like, queer folks. And, like, I love that because you can almost see, like, the emotion in their eyes. They're like, man, I just wish we had a gym like this. And, like, we just see it as, like, it's like a gym, and we just, like, accept gay people, but it's, like, doesn't seem like we're doing something extra to me. Yeah, like, we're just, like, everyone's just welcome here. Like, I don't feel like we, like, deserve a prize. Like, it's just, like, anyone can work out here. Like,
like, hi, we're nice to people.
Yeah, like, we don't care. Like, I care about how much weight you have on the bar, not how much, like, eyeshadow you have on from last night. Like, I just want you to come in here and, like give it your
back
all.
Back straight, knees out, we're working out, you're sweating.
And so, like, that's really touching when people, like research us and they're like, God, like, we're just so thankful for y'all, and they don't even live here. Yeah. But then also, like, I'm just so proud of, like, our, like, hetero community because, like,
they love and accept the others.
They don't care either. And it's great, like, people are like, oh, y'all have a gay gym, but it's, like, actually, like, not like it. Yeah, we have a
like,
gay
we
flag,
have a rainbow flag up and a trans flag up, if that's what you mean. And, like, yeah, I'm trans, but, like,
yeah, like, gay people work out there, but, like, it's not like you.
They don't care that you're straight,
right?
So, like, we're all just working out, you know.
The fact that, you know, like, our hetero, like, group is just, like, as supportive as, like,
everyone's mingling. And family.
Like, and so it really is like a family, and that's, like, what's important to us.
You said one of our members found out that I was trans. I don't want to say his name, but found out I was trans. He's like, and he still beats me in the workouts. He's like, that's awesome. You know, like, that's just, like, really cool. It's just, like...
And that blows my mind, too. Like, it seems like everyone throws out, like, oh, Flambeau's, like, the gay gym, but, like, we've had members there for over years that don't even know that he's trans. Because it's not like we walk in and we're like, he's gay, she's gay, he's not gay, she's not, you know. Like,
I just want people to walk in, and I want so-and-so to feel like she can talk about her wife and her kid and not be like, is that okay to say right now? Or, you know, like, I want him over there to be as feminine as he wants, even though he's lifting more weight than half the dudes in the gym. Like, literally, like, I just want people to be comfortable and feel like they can be themselves, you know, and just feel like they belong, because they do, because we're all human, and we deserve to be healthy.
Yeah, we're literally just trying to work out.
Yeah, I do feel that. Like, I'm so, like, taken back. We had a Google review just recently. That made me cry. And no, like, I was very emotional pre-transition. Poor Missy. You did so good dealing with me. I was very emotional.
And I am not. I mean.
Still not. But I could count on this hand how many times I have cried since I've started my transition. Now that things don't touch me or I don't feel like connected to things because I'm like totally an empath, but I just, like the tears don't happen. But last week we got a Google review and it totally just, I had to like put my head down and like just take a second and like wipe a few little tears. I had a little lint in my eyes, but it was a person who didn't realize how much having an LGBT accepting gym would mean to them, how much progress that they were able to make, and how much confidence that they feel like they have gained within, it was like 3 weeks, and just feeling like everyone around them, no matter how advanced the athlete was next to them, or if the athlete next to them was just as beginner as them, was like just giving them high fives, because we're all going through the same workout, we're all just sweating, and to feel like just the camaraderie, and to feel like, wow, if I can do this physically and I didn't think I could do this a week ago, then what can I do? And the Google review went into saying like not how much that only they've grown strength-wise, but like mental strength-wise. And man, it just hit me because it was like everything that I started this to be. Like if I would have made bullet points of what I wanted Flambeaux to achieve, this Google review literally was like check, check, check. And it was just so fulfilling. So though we do this and this supports our family, God, we're so lucky.
Very.
We love what we do every day. One of us wakes up at 4:30 in the morning every day, Monday through Friday, and we don't complain. Like, because we love it. We love being there. We love telling y'all good morning. And we love being able to see y'all progress as much as y'all love seeing y'all progress. It just makes us feel like I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be as far as reaching out to people.
All right. I feel the same. There's just something that makes me warm and fuzzy inside that when the first day they come in can barely like do a body squat, their own body weight, and then like 3 weeks later you see them like leading the pack whenever they're going, like it's just like even if they don't even notice it, like I notice it, so then that's just like for me just like the heartwarming, like this is where we're supposed to be. This is like this building is like more than just like a tin building.
I tell you,
and it's great. I'm great.
I know.
Grateful to be a part of it.
I walk up to our 1,000 square foot tin building sometimes, and I look at it. I'm like, God, you are so much bigger than 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I love that we get to raise our kids in it. Like we truly love what we do, and I hope other people will come along and be a part of it because we're just like there's so much positivity. We have so many amazing people in our community.
Yeah, we do. I'm very thankful for each and every one of them.
Yeah.
And y'all get to meet some of them.
Yeah. So perfect. Next month, we will start bringing one member on at a time. Every month we want to release one of these videos, and we just want to get to know our members, where they were before they started CrossFit, why they looked into CrossFit, and why that they're still a part of Flambeaux community and what they think makes us special. Which actually, like, they're the reason why we're special, because without them we wouldn't have our community. Yeah. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, which I hope you did, please subscribe to our page. That way you'll get notified when we release next month's.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Good job.